Stop for a second. If you're a loan officer watching this, I need you to hear something that nobody in your industry is saying out loud right now. The mortgage business is hurting. You already know this. Rates went up, volume cratered. The $300,000 years, the years some of you had in 2020 and 2021, those years aren't coming back anytime soon. And a lot of loan officers are sitting there right now, grinding through a fraction of the pipeline they used to have, wondering whether to wait it out or do something different. I was one of you. Not, I read about the mortgage industry. Not, I have a client who was a loan officer. I was a top producing mortgage broker for over 20 years. I partnered with UWM when Matt Ishbia was still building it into what it is today. I had a $1.6 million income year. I understood rate locks, warehouse lines, yield spread premiums, and pipeline management at a level most people in this business never reach. And then illness took most of it. Chronic kidney disease, stage 5. I couldn't get life insurance. I spent my savings protecting my family the only way I could. And then I went to Mexico to fight for my life instead of going on dialysis. And I had to figure out how to rebuild from zero in a foreign country with no team, no office, no pipeline. What I found is what this video is about. Because here's what I discovered. Everything that made you good at mortgages, or car sales, or any high-performance sales job is exactly what YouTube rewards. And when you combine those skills with the AI tools that exist right now, you don't just build a YouTube channel. You build an income stream that runs whether the market is up or down, whether rates are at 3% or 7%, whether you close 10 deals this month or 0. I'm going to teach you exactly how I built it, everything, in this one video. And at the end, I'm going to give you something free. A blueprint designed specifically for loan officers and sales professionals that you can use to start your own channel before this video is over. Let's get into it. Here's the thing nobody tells sales professionals about YouTube. YouTube is a sales channel. It has always been a sales channel. The people who do best on YouTube are the people who understand that every single video is a sales conversation. You're selling trust, you're selling credibility, you're selling the viewer on the idea that their time is worth spending here with you. Loan officers and car salespeople do that for a living. Think about what you already know how to do. You know how to talk to someone who's confused and make the complicated simple. You do this every day. A borrower comes in terrified of the mortgage process, and you walk them through it step by step until they feel confident. That skill, taking something complex and making it accessible, is exactly what the most successful educational YouTube channels are built on. You know how to find a problem and solve it before the person even knew they had the problem. That's sales. That's also content strategy. The best YouTube videos answer questions people are already asking, or questions they haven't figured out how to ask yet. You understand the funnel. You know that the first conversation isn't a close. It's a relationship. YouTube works the same way. Someone finds your video, watches it, trusts you a little more, watches another one, and eventually they're ready to work with you or buy from you. Loan officers who've been building referral networks for 20 years already understand this model intuitively. You have credibility that took years to earn. Here's what most YouTube creators don't have. They don't have the real-world experience to back up what they're saying. You do. If you've closed 500 mortgages, you've seen more real financial situations, more real problems, more real solutions than any 25-year-old finance influencer has ever touched. That expertise is your competitive advantage, and YouTube is the place to leverage it. Millions of people every month are searching YouTube for answers to mortgage questions, car buying questions, financial questions, and most of the content they're finding is made by people who don't have your depth of knowledge. There's a massive gap between what the audience needs and what's currently being offered. That gap is your opportunity. Now, I can already hear the objections. I don't want to be on camera. I'm going to show you how to build a professional YouTube channel without ever turning on a camera. I don't know how to edit video. The AI tools I use Eliminate video editing almost entirely. I don't have time. I'm going to show you a workflow where one working session produces a month of content. I'm not a tech person. I'm a former mortgage broker. I learned this in my 50s, sick, in Mexico, starting from nothing. If I figured it out, I promise you can too. Every excuse has an answer, and the answer is AI. Let me tell you how this actually happened, because the story matters. Not to impress you, but because I want you to understand that I'm not teaching theory. I'm teaching what I actually built, the hard way, with the tools I'm about to show you. I grew up with nothing. Parents who weren't able to take care of me. State of New Mexico at 15. McDonald's at 17 for $4.25 an hour. I thought that was the job of a lifetime. I figured out that I could sell. Moved to Scottsdale. Literally ran out of gas on the way to San Diego and ended up there by accident. Got a job at Showcase Honda. My first paycheck was $12,500. I thought it was a mistake. I went home and didn't come back the next day. The owner of the dealership called me personally. He said, "You can't earn another check like that sitting at home drinking beer on the couch." That was the moment I understood what I was actually capable of. From there, it was mortgages. And mortgages changed everything because mortgages taught me how money actually works. Not from a textbook, but from inside the system. I learned about warehouse lines and MBS securities and rate locks and yield spread premiums. I watched capital flow in real time. I saw that the money doesn't come from where people think it comes from. In 2012, I closed what became known as America's first Bitcoin-backed mortgage. A foreign national from Dubai, $1.9 million condo, Bitcoin as the down payment. The underwriter was ready to decline it. I spent a week building the argument that a blockchain is functionally identical to an interbank settlement ledger. Both batch transactions, both verifiable, both trustworthy. The deal closed. That Bitcoin deal taught me something that's shaped everything I've done since. The technology doesn't matter. The mechanics matter. If the mechanics work, the technology is valid, regardless of whether the consensus has caught up yet. I partnered with UWM in 2018. Matt Ishbia, now the owner of the Phoenix Suns, was building something most people hadn't recognized yet. I saw the mechanics. I partnered early. 2019 was my $1.4 million year. 2020 was my $1.6 million year. Then I got sick. Stage 5 chronic kidney disease. I couldn't get life insurance. The underwriting was impossible. I made the decisions I knew how to make. Protect my family first, fight for my life second. I went to Mexico for stem cell treatment instead of dialysis. My wife wouldn't let me give up. It worked. But I had zero income, zero pipeline, zero team. I was living in a house in Puerto Vallarta, owned by clients I had helped build wealth years earlier, and I had to figure out what to do next. I did what I always do when I'm starting from scratch. I looked for the technology that was changing the mechanics, the thing that was real before the consensus caught up. And I found AI. Specifically, I found a tool called HeyGen. HeyGen is an AI platform that creates a digital avatar, a video version of you, that you can use to produce professional video content without ever sitting in front of a camera. You record yourself once to create the avatar. After that, the avatar delivers your scripts, professionally, convincingly, while you sleep. I made my first HeyGen video, then another. I built a scripting workflow using AI that let me write full teleprompter-ready scripts in a fraction of the time it would take to write them manually. I used a tool called vidIQ to research which topics YouTube was already serving to audiences who wanted what I had to teach. I launched 2 channels, Kim Talks Finance for macroeconomic content, and AI Savvy CEO for business owners learning to use AI tools. 1 person, 2 channels, 0 employees, 0 studio, total production cost, a fraction of what any traditional media operation would spend. And here's what I keep coming back to. The thing that made me want to make this video specifically for loan officers. My entire workflow is built on the same skills I used as a mortgage broker. You already know how to do this. All I did was point those skills at YouTube instead of a loan pipeline. Every video I make, And every video I'm going to teach you to make follows what I call the R-E-A-L Playbook. 4 sections. Every video, every time. R stands for reality check. This is your hook, the first 10 to 30 seconds of your video. And the job of the reality check is to challenge an assumption the viewer already has. Loan officers, think about how many assumptions your borrowers come in with. I can't buy a house because I don't have 20% down. Wrong. My credit score is too low. Maybe. Or maybe there are programs you haven't told them about yet. Rates are too high right now, I should wait. That one's complicated and most people are getting it wrong. Every one of those is a reality check hook. Here's an example of what this sounds like on camera. Your lender told you to wait until rates drop. Here's why that's the most expensive advice you've ever received. That hook makes a viewer stop, because they've probably heard that advice, and now they're curious whether they've been making a mistake. Here's the rule. Your hook needs to make the viewer think, wait, really? Within the first 10 seconds. If you get that reaction, they'll stay. If you don't, they're gone. Car salespeople, same principle. Everyone says you should always pay cash for a car. Is that actually true? Never buy a new car, buy used. Is that always right? Challenge the conventional wisdom your audience has been told by everyone else. That's where the interesting content lives. E stands for evidence. After you challenge the assumption in your hook, you have to prove your point. And the only way to prove it on YouTube is to show it. Real data, real numbers, real examples, real case studies from your experience. This is where loan officers have an extraordinary advantage. You've closed hundreds of deals. You've seen real situations. Borrowers who waited and it cost them. Borrowers who acted and it saved them. Borrowers who used strategies most people have never heard of. You have a library of real evidence that no YouTube creator without your background can replicate. You don't use client names, you don't use identifying details, but you absolutely can say, I had a borrower in 2019 who was convinced they couldn't qualify. Here's what we found, and here's what happened. That's evidence. That's proof. That's the thing that makes the viewer trust you enough to stay for the next section. Every real deal you've done is a potential video. Every creative solution you found is a piece of content. The library is already sitting in your head. You just haven't pointed a camera at it yet. A stands for action. This is the most important section of every video, and it's the one most YouTube creators skip because they're afraid to give away too much. Don't make that mistake. The action section is where you teach one specific, immediately usable skill or strategy. One thing, step by step. The viewer should be able to pause the video and do it right now. For a loan officer channel, action might look like this. Here's how to calculate whether it makes financial sense to pay points on your rate right now. Here's exactly how to read a loan estimate so you know what you're actually paying. Here's the specific question to ask every lender that tells you immediately whether they're being straight with you. The more specific, the better. The more actionable, the better. The more, I can do this today, the better. This is counterintuitive to salespeople because we're trained to hold back, to be the one with the information, to create dependency. YouTube works the opposite way. The more you give, the more the audience trusts you. The more they trust you, the more they want to work with you specifically, not just use the information you gave them. Give generously. The audience rewards it. L stands for legacy, or more practically, for long-term impact. After you've taught the action, you zoom out. You connect the immediate tactic to the bigger picture. You answer the question, if they do what you just taught them, how does their life or business look different in 6 months? In a year? In 5 years? For a loan officer channel, legacy might sound like this. If you apply the strategy I just walked you through, and you save half a point on your interest rate, on a $400,000 mortgage, that's $80,000 over the life of the loan. That's not a small number. And the reason most people don't find it is because they don't know the question to ask. Now you do. That's legacy. You made the immediate skill feel worth the next 10, 20 years of its application. And here's where it gets powerful for your channel specifically. You know what a borrower's largest financial decision usually is? Their mortgage. You're not teaching people how to save $5 on a latte. You're teaching people how to save tens of thousands of dollars on the biggest purchase they'll ever make. Every video you make has legacy built in because the stakes are already enormous. Let me show you what the R-E-A-L framework looks like as a complete video outline so you can see exactly how to apply it to your first video. Topic: Why waiting for rates to drop could cost you $50,000. The reality check is your hook. Every financial pundit is telling you to wait until rates drop before you buy a house. Here's the math they're not showing you. The evidence section. You show a real calculation. Borrower A waits 2 years for rates to drop. Borrower B buys now. You account for home price appreciation over those 2 years. 2 years of rent payments that built zero equity, and the actual rate difference when rates finally come down. Run the real numbers. In most markets right now, borrower B wins, sometimes by tens of thousands of dollars. That's your evidence. The action section. Here's how to run this calculation yourself. Here's the formula. Here's how to find the home appreciation rate for your specific target market. Pause the video and do it right now for the city you're looking in. The legacy section. If this video saves you from making a $500,000 decision based on incomplete information, that's what this channel is for. Share it with anyone you know who's been told to wait. That's one video. One topic you've explained to borrowers 100 times in your career. Now it's a YouTube video that will answer that question for millions of people searching for the answer forever. You made it once. It works for you indefinitely. And that's the thing that changes the math. With a loan pipeline, you're compensated once per deal. With YouTube, you're compensated every time someone watches. Every view, every subscriber, every lead that comes through that video for as long as the video exists. Your knowledge has always been worth more than one transaction. YouTube is the first place you can actually capture that full value. Now let's talk about the tools that make all of this possible. Because the framework is the strategy, but the tools are what remove the excuses. And I want to remove every single one of them for you today. The first tool is HeyGen, and this is the one that changes everything. HeyGen creates a photorealistic AI avatar of you. You record yourself once in a simple setup, decent lighting, about 5 minutes of footage, and HeyGen creates a digital version of you that can deliver any script you give it. Here's what that means in practice. I write a script for a video. I paste it into HeyGen. My avatar delivers it. Professional, on camera, looking directly at the viewer, without me ever sitting in front of a camera for that specific video. The production time for a 10 to 15 minute video is roughly 20 to 30 minutes. No filming, no retakes, no editing in the traditional sense. The avatar looks like me, it sounds like me, and it delivers content while I'm asleep in Puerto Vallarta. Now, I know the first reaction some of you are having, but is that authentic? Will people know it's AI? Here's my honest answer. Be transparent about it. I am. I tell my audience I use HeyGen. I tell them the channel itself is the proof of concept, that I'm teaching AI tools by using them to make the video they're watching right now. That transparency isn't a weakness. It's the most powerful form of credibility I have. For loan officers, the same principle applies. You could say on your first video, I'm going to be upfront with you. This video was made using an AI avatar tool called HeyGen. I'm a loan officer, not a video producer. I use AI to handle the production so I can focus on giving you the best possible information. The knowledge is mine. The tools just make it easier to share. That's it. That's the disclosure. And it actually makes people more interested, not less. Because you've just demonstrated that you're exactly the kind of person who learns new tools and uses them efficiently. In this industry right now, that's a signal that you're someone worth paying attention to. The second tool is AI-assisted scripting. And this one is what most people underestimate. Writing a video script used to take me hours. Finding the right angle, structuring the argument, making sure the pacing worked, hitting all the key points, That's a significant cognitive load on top of everything else you're already doing. AI assistance cuts that time dramatically. Here's my workflow. I start with a topic and a target audience. I use the R-E-A-L framework as the structure. Reality check, evidence, action, legacy. Then I use AI to help develop each section. Researching supporting data, finding the right examples, refining the language so it sounds the way I actually talk. The AI doesn't write the video for me. My knowledge, my stories, my credibility, those come from me. The AI handles the production work, structuring the argument, finding supporting evidence, making sure I haven't missed anything, tightening the language. Think of it like having a research assistant and an editor sitting next to you while you work. You're still the expert. You're still the one who knows what's true and what's not. The AI just accelerates the process of getting what's in your head into a format that works on camera. For loan officers, this is especially powerful because you have 20, 25 years of knowledge sitting in your head right now. Strategies that took you years to learn. Mistakes you've seen borrowers make over and over. Creative solutions to problems most lenders say are impossible. The challenge has never been the knowledge. The challenge has been the time and the production skill to turn that knowledge into content. AI solves both of those problems. In one session, one afternoon, working with AI assistants, I scripted 17 complete videos for one of my channels. Full teleprompter scripts, SEO metadata, title variations, visual direction cues. A traditional production team would need weeks to produce that. One person with the right workflow did it in a few hours. That's what's available to you right now. You just have to start. The third tool is vidIQ, and this one is about targeting. vidIQ is a YouTube intelligence platform that tells you what people are actually searching for, how competitive those searches are, and which topics are likely to perform well given your channel's current standing. Here's why this matters for loan officers specifically. You could make 100 videos about topics you find interesting. Or you could make 100 videos about topics your target audience is already actively searching for on YouTube. These are not the same list. Let me give you some examples of what the search data actually shows for mortgage-related content. First-time homebuyer mistakes gets hundreds of thousands of searches every single month. How to get pre-approved for a mortgage has enormous search volume and high commercial intent, meaning the people searching for it are actively looking to take action. Should I buy or rent is a topic that refreshes every year with new search demand. How to read a loan estimate is a specific, high-value question that almost nobody is answering well on YouTube right now. That last one is important. There are topics where the demand is high and the quality of existing content is low. Those are the gaps. Those gaps are your content calendar. vidIQ shows you where those gaps are. A loan officer who combines their professional knowledge with vidIQ keyword research will find more high-value content opportunities in a single afternoon than most YouTube channels find in a year of guessing. And here's the targeting advantage you have that general finance YouTubers don't. You can go hyper-local. How to get a mortgage in Phoenix. First-time homebuyer programs in Texas. How to buy a house in a high-cost market. Local search volume is lower, but local competition is almost non-existent, and local intent is extremely high. Someone searching how to buy a house in Denver is a warm lead for any loan officer in that market. Your YouTube channel can be your geographic territory's most trusted mortgage resource. And nobody else in your market is probably doing this yet. Now let me put these three tools together into the actual workflow, because seeing how they connect is what makes it real. Step 1. Use vidIQ to identify a high-demand topic with real search volume and a gap in the current content. You're looking for questions your target audience is already asking, where the existing answers on YouTube are weak or incomplete. Step 2. Use the R-E-A-L framework to structure your video around that topic. Reality check, evidence, action, legacy. Map your professional knowledge and real experience to each section. Step 3. Use AI-assisted scripting to develop each section into a full teleprompter script. Your expertise plus AI production support. Your stories, your examples, your credibility, organized and refined with AI assistance. Step 4. Paste the script into HeyGen. Your avatar delivers the video. Professional, consistent, on-camera delivery, without you having to film anything. Step 5. Upload to YouTube with the SEO-optimized title, description, and tags that your vidIQ research informed. That workflow, from topic idea to published video, takes a fraction of the time traditional video production requires. And it scales. Every video you publish stays on YouTube permanently, answering that question for every person who searches for it, for as long as YouTube exists. I want to pause here and say something I think is important. When I was a mortgage broker, I could help maybe 30 or 40 families at a time. That was my capacity. And I was good at it. I helped families build real wealth. I helped one family buy 10 houses using my financing strategies. Their son runs that real estate empire today. But there was always a ceiling on how many people I could reach. YouTube removes that ceiling. The video I made last month about a mortgage strategy is still answering questions for people right now. Next week, next year. I'm not in the room, but the information is. The same knowledge that helped 30 families when I had to be physically present with each of them, now it reaches thousands without any additional effort from me. That's the leverage YouTube creates. And AI makes it accessible to people who aren't professional video producers. People like you and me. Let me talk about money. Because that's why you're here. And I'm not going to dance around it. YouTube pays creators in several ways. I want to walk through all of them. Because the most obvious one is actually the least interesting. The first is AdSense. YouTube runs ads on your videos and pays you a share of the revenue. In finance-adjacent niches, mortgage, real estate, personal finance, the advertiser rates are among the highest on the entire platform. Companies pay a premium to reach people who are actively thinking about money. That's your audience. But here's the reality. AdSense income grows with your channel. A channel with 10,000 monthly views earns modest AdSense revenue. A channel with 1 million monthly views earns real income from AdSense. You build toward it. You don't count on it at the beginning. The second revenue stream is lead generation for your core business. And this one is immediately valuable, even for a brand new channel. Every video you publish on YouTube is a permanent advertisement for your expertise. Someone searches, how to get pre-approved with a low credit score, finds your video, watches 15 minutes of genuine professional guidance, and trusts you more than any other lender they've spoken to. They click the link in your description. They book a call. They become a client. That has happened to me. It will happen to you. And unlike traditional lead generation, which costs money every time, YouTube lead generation is permanent. A video you publish today keeps generating leads 5 years from now. Loan officers, think about what you currently spend on leads. Zillow leads, Realtor.com leads, purchased list leads. YouTube doesn't charge you per lead. It charges you the time to make the video, and then it generates leads indefinitely. One video, infinite leads, no cost per click, no expiring contracts, no lead quality issues because the person who watched 15 minutes of your content and then reached out already trusts you before you pick up the phone. That's a completely different conversation than a cold Zillow lead. The third revenue stream is courses, programs, and coaching. And this is the model I built for AI Savvy CEO, and the model I'm recommending you consider for your channel too. Once your audience trusts you, and YouTube builds that trust faster than almost any other medium because the viewer has spent real time with you before they ever reach out, they want more access to you. They want the in-depth version. They want your specific expertise applied to their specific situation. That's where a course, a program, or coaching comes in. I teach AI-powered business building on AI Savvy CEO. You could teach mortgage strategy, home buying strategy, real estate investing strategy, whatever your deepest expertise is. The YouTube channel builds the trust. The course or coaching program captures the value. Here's how the funnel works. Viewer finds your video through YouTube search. They watch. They trust you. They want more. You offer something free. A blueprint, a checklist, a guide. That gives them immediate additional value. They give you their email address to get it. You now have a relationship that isn't dependent on them happening to find another YouTube video. Over time, you offer them your program. Some percentage enrolls. They pay you for the deeper version of what they've already been getting for free. This funnel runs while you sleep. It ran while I was recovering in Puerto Vallarta. It runs on weekends. It runs when the mortgage market is slow and you have no pipeline to work. And here's the piece that brings this full circle for loan officers. You understand pipelines. You understand the difference between a contact, a prospect, a qualified lead, and a closed deal. You understand nurture sequences. You understand conversion rates. YouTube is just a pipeline, the most scalable pipeline you've ever worked. The top of the funnel is your videos. The middle of the funnel is your free content and email list. The bottom of the funnel is your offer, your course, your coaching, your program, or referrals back to your mortgage business. You already know how to work a pipeline. You've spent your career doing it. YouTube is just a new top of funnel that you've never tapped. I said at the beginning of this video that I was going to give you something free, and I mean it. I've put together what I'm calling the Loan Officer's AI YouTube Blueprint. It's a one-page document, everything you need to start your YouTube channel as a sales professional, laid out step by step. It includes the 5 content pillars for a loan officer YouTube channel, with example video titles for each one that already have proven search demand. It includes the R-E-A-L framework applied specifically to mortgage content, so you can structure any video you make from day one. It includes the 3 AI tools, HeyGen, AI-assisted scripting, and vidIQ, explained in plain language with exactly how to start using each one. And it includes a 30-day content calendar template, so you know exactly what to make and when to post it for your first month. This is not a sales pitch disguised as a free gift. It's the actual starting point. Go to AISavvyCEO.io and you'll find the link to download it. Now, if you want to go further than the blueprint, I've built a program specifically for this. There are 3 ways to work with me. The first level is a self-paced course. You get the complete system, every tool, every workflow, every framework, and you implement it on your own timeline. This is the entry point. It's designed so that someone who has never made a YouTube video can follow it from zero to published in under a week. The second level includes everything in the self-paced course, plus a one-on-one call with me where we set up your HeyGen avatar together. Your avatar is the thing most people get stuck on. Getting the recording right, setting it up correctly in HeyGen, making sure the output looks professional. We do that together on a call, and you leave with a working avatar and your first video ready to produce. The third level is the full setup. I build your avatar, set up your complete AI production workflow, and deliver a professional one-page website. A complete home base for your channel, sent directly to you, ready to publish. This is for the loan officer who wants to start with everything already built and just wants to show up and create content. All 3 levels are at AISavvyCEO.io. But start with the free blueprint. Download it today. Go through it this week. It will tell you exactly what your first 5 videos should be. And it will show you that you already have everything you need to make them. Because here's the truth I want to leave you with. The mortgage market will recover. Rates will come down. The cycle will turn. Like it always has. It always does. And when it does, the loan officers who built a YouTube presence during the slow years are going to have an audience, a lead pipeline, and a content library that other loan officers spent a decade and a fortune trying to build. But the income from YouTube doesn't wait for the mortgage market to recover. It starts now. With the first video. With the first person who searches for an answer, finds your channel, and trusts you because you showed up and actually helped them. I rebuilt my entire career using these tools from a house in Mexico with no income and no team. I'm not telling you it's easy. I'm telling you it works, and that you're more prepared for it than you think. You spent years learning how to talk to people who are confused about one of the biggest financial decisions of their lives, and help them feel confident enough to move forward. That's the skill. Everything else is just tools. The tools exist. They're affordable, they're learnable, and the window where most loan officers haven't figured this out yet, that window is open right now. It won't be open forever. Go get the blueprint at aisavvyceo.io. Start the channel. Take the first step this week, not next month. Subscribe to AI Savvy CEO so you don't miss what's coming next. I'm releasing new content every week on exactly the tools and strategies I use to build this channel. And if you know a loan officer or sales professional who needs to see this video, share it with them. That's how this community grows. That's how we help each other figure this out. I'll see you in the next one.